Well, hello, my fellow resellers out there. We're going to do a live stream today, and I checked my mic and my camera. I think they should be good. I would appreciate it. Anybody in chat, if there is a problem, let me know, or if it's good, let me know that too. Should be good to go though. My voice is, I'm going to say 99%, so I'm all better. I'm in the blue room today. And I do see, I'm going to go through the chat real quick. And guys, I'm going to let you know, I'm not going to really focus a whole bunch on the chat. I'm going to try and keep the show a little bit tight because we got a pretty good bit of stuff to get through today. Okay, we got Henry in the chat, 95472 Pickers. We got Jason Kreider. Hey, Jason. And let's see, who else? We got Chelsea from the UK. Hello, my friend. And Chelsea says it looks fine. Awesome. I do have my boom coming in for my mic soon, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm slowly upgrading my studio stuff, and hopefully one day I'll get an actual permanent studio setup, so it'll be a lot easier to go live. So what we're going to talk about today, guys, is I get asked this quite a bit via private message or even in person sometimes. What kind of items should a new person be looking for at garage sales? What should I be looking for? And a lot of times that answer is going to be, oh, you should buy video games. You should buy books. You should buy albums, like vinyl. And those are great answers. But the truth is, most books, most vinyl, most video games are really pretty low value. So, telling a new person that, or not even somebody that's new, let's say somebody that's niched into clothing or antiques or something like that, to tell someone that's like niched into one of those areas that they should be buying vinyl is a little disingenuous because most vinyl is worthless. So yeah, you can find value there, but it's going to take a lot of research. You're going to really have to know what you're doing or you're going to get killed. Video games, same way. Most video games, low value. There's a new Madden that comes out every year. There's a new FIFA that comes out every year. Lots of sports games, lots of movie games, lots of worthless titles out there. So if someone just goes out there and buys willy-nilly, they're going to get killed. So what I did is I came up with a list of 10 categories or 10 item types. I'm going to get fairly specific in most cases. 10 types of items that everyone should be looking out for. And I had several criteria for this list. And I did jot down a few notes here, so I might refer to those every now and then. And we're also going to do some screen share, do a little on-screen research. The item has to be readily available, meaning you're likely to see it often. It's not like a rare item or anything. It's got to be a low cost. Most of the items I'm going to talk about are going to cost $1 to maybe up to $5. A couple might be a little more expensive, $5 to $20, but they should be relatively low cost items that anyone can afford to buy. They've got to be easy to research. It should be something, if you do need to do research, fast, on the spot kind of thing at a garage sale, and you can just whip your phone out, search a model number real quick, and bam. They're not going to be like real condition dependent, things like that. They're not going to have to really be checked for completeness a lot. They have to be easy to test and easy to ship. Most of these items are going to be first class items, and they're going to be like items that can fit in a small, like 8x6x4 box. Maybe throw a little bubble wrap on it and it's gone. Some of these items you can put in bubble mailers. So, I know that I want to, whenever I have an item that is like super easy to take pictures of, throw in a box, test real fast. I mean, these are all time savers here, right? So, that's kind of a big deal because, it's okay to sell an item for $15, but you better not have much time in it or you're going to get slaughtered on that item. So let's see, what else do we have here? Easy to ship and fast turnaround. I want items that are fast sellers. I don't want items that we're going to be sitting on for months and months and months. These items, for the most part, are going to be items that you should be able to turn around in a week's time or less. A couple of them maybe a little more, depending on what price you're asking for. Some of them are going to be a little more specialized. So I've teased this up enough. Let me go to the chat real quick, take a look, throw down some shout outs. And I don't even know how many people do we have watching this stream right now. Looks like you got 17. That's not too bad for a impromptu stream, right? So let's see. We got Chelsea. I already saw him. Okay, Coney Hatch. Hello. We got Swamp Picker. That's Glenn. Swamp Picker. Oh, quick programming announcement. We are doing a show tomorrow night. It's called Cajun Pickers. 3 pickers from Louisiana. That's me. That's Swamp Picker. That's Kinetic Energy. We did our first show 2 weeks ago. Our second show is going to be tomorrow night, and it is on as far as I know. And Swamp Picker, tell me in the chat, what is a good time for you? Because I haven't managed to touch base with either one of you guys. What do you think, man? Like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock? What? I know you don't want to go too late. But just tell me in the chat what time is good for you. But it should be a good show. I think we got a pretty good response last time. But let's get started, guys. Oh, let me finish reading these guys out. We got Coney Hatch, The Comfortable Life. Hello. We got Kayla. Kayla's in Sinla, Central Louisiana. We got King Green. And he's asking if we're doing a show tomorrow. We are. Blood Blue DIHD. Not sure what that is, but he's hyped for the show. We got Swamp Picker, and there's Henry. Okay, cool. And Swamp Picker says 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock will work well for me, Swamp. I'll get in touch with Michael, and we'll set that up. And I'll actually schedule the stream because I've been saying I'm going to do it. But let's get started, guys. And some of these are going to be obvious to a lot of you guys. Some of them not so obvious. We're going to start with some really low-hanging fruit, and that is graphing calculators. The great thing about graphing calculators, they're small. A lot of times you can get them really cheap. $1 to $5 usually is what I pay. Now, the bad thing is there is a lot of competition for these. Everybody knows about them for the most part. But the really cool thing is there's only a few models you have to know about. For instance, you need to know about the TI-86 Plus. And we can see this goes, well, let me go to solds here. That's just a cover, okay? Cover sold for $5. So a lot of, okay, these are broken. Getting some kind of garbage results. But here you go. Here is, no, those, maybe I should have had this prepared a little better. That's a TI-86. Let me see. I'm not getting the pluses up here. Or am I thinking about TI-83 Plus? Okay, I must be thinking TI-83 because I'm not pulling up TI-86. There's a lot of models you're going to see. There's going to be like TI-81s. Those are fairly antiquated. There's going to be TI-85s. Those are fairly antiquated. 86s. I thought there was an 86 Plus, but I must be wrong. But you can see this 83 Plus. Big range of prices. It's going to depend on what time of year it is. And how new. There's several versions. There's like a silver version. You can see this one went for $40 free shipping, $30. Not sure what the difference in prices are here. $26, $30. Here's one brand new, $69.95. And then there's also, like, you can even go, there's not that many, guys. TI-89. There's another one, TI-89, $35, $32, $35, $29. And I mean, these are really, really hot sellers. Usually when I pick up one of these calculators, it's going to sell within hours. We're talking hours. And a lot of times it's going to be a refurb group that actually buys calculators and they resell them to schools. They resell them to students. Let's see. There are other brands too. You don't want to just look at TI. You may see some of these out there. HP 49G. This is one I actually have when I was in school a long time ago, engineering. If you see these, pick these up. Basically, guys, if you see any kind of weird calculators, you need to be picking them up, not just graphing. Like you might even see, I have one of these not too long ago, these HP 12Cs. This one's low value for some reason. But you could see this is a financial calculator. 33 bucks for this one, 20 for this one, 35. I sold one of these for about $100 last year. Let me sort this by price plus shipping highest. There we go. Okay, here we go. Here's a couple of well, that's 12 C's. You can see, here we go. There's a 30th anniversary edition. Some of these you need to do a little research before you sell them. Some of them, it depends on where they're made. New old stock vintage HP 12C calculator, 1992. They got a lot more money than some of those other guys. This is similar to the price I got. And Brian, the Oak Brook Pickers, in the chat today. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Got Super Sunshine Thrifter. Love the calculators, but the good ones are hard to find where I live. They're hard to find, I'll admit. But if you're going garage sailing, usually you're going to find these calculators. Like if you go first thing, like for 7 a.m., you're usually going to find these calculators like it's your first couple of garage sales, where you go up to a virgin garage sale untouched. That's where you're going to probably find this kind of stuff. So it definitely needs to be in your head. If you see them, pick them up. TSW in the chat says hi. Hello. So let's go to the next one, guys. The next thing we're always looking for is recorders. We're always looking for the little micro. They make big ones too, but usually I'm looking for micro cassette recorders. And I should probably have some model numbers who would make it a lot easier for me to search here. What you want to look for on all electronics, especially the small stuff, you want to look for Sony, you want to look for Panasonic, you want to look for Olympus, stuff made in Japan. If you're buying it cheap enough, you want to buy pretty much any microcassette recorder. Now, the one caveat I would give you on microcassette recorders is if you're paying more than $1 or $2, you need to test them. You really need to test them, because all cassette decks and even the little micro recorders, they have motors, and those are usually fine, but they also have these little bitty belts, and those belts dry rot, those belts slip, those belts fail, and a lot of times you see a high fail rate with tape recorders, tape players, tape decks, etc. Much higher than other electronic things that I've seen. So let's just look up. I'm just going to do a search for Sony microcassette recorder. I'm still on highest. We're not necessarily going to find this $355 microcassette DAT tape recorder. It's digital audio tape. Probably will never see one of those. In date recent. There we go. And while I'm looking that up, we have Chicago Crown Hustler in the chat. Hello. And we have Jason Entwistle and Jay Fear. Hey guys, thanks for joining us. How many do we have? How popular am I? I'm popular. 21 people popular. That's not too bad. I'm happy with that. Okay, and I'm going to remind y'all, thumbs up or down, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. There, got that out the way. So here's just a random search for Sony microcassette recorder. And you're going to see a lot of Sonys out there. And a lot of people, the great thing about these types of items, a lot of people don't know that they're worth anything. They see, oh, it takes, tapes. People are using cell phones for that now. People know that video games, they're starting to catch on. Video games are worth a little something. So a lot of people are starting to price those up. They're not on to these yet. They just put these out on the table for $1 or $2 a lot of times. Even at estate sales, you can get these suckers. And Swamp Picker makes a great point. Have AAA and AA with you. Good point. And if y'all watch my recent pickup video, I showed an Olympus, really nice Olympus. It turned out it had a bad belt. So now I'm selling it for parts. Which is why if you can get it for $1 or $2, and it's a Sony, it's an Olympus, it's a Panasonic, just buy it. Don't test it. Just move on. Unless it has like corrosion coming out of the battery compartment. Buy it and move on. Because even if it doesn't work, selling it for parts for probably $10 or more. So this is just a random search here, guys, for some Sonys. Look at these prices: $27.88, $49.95, $59.99. I've had this. Look, the 560V. I've had this several times, and it does command that money. Here's a 560V, and look, guys, you see what they're doing here? See these tapes? This is something I know that Swamp Picker does. I've done it too when I've had them in stock. If you throw down some tapes with the recorder, it's going to make it a lot more desirable, because those little tapes are expensive if you go to the store, if you can even find them. If you bundle it with tapes, you got a little package that's ready to go for your customer. I'm pretty sure that Chicago Crown Hustler would say not to include batteries, though, because if you include the batteries, you got to stand good for those too. So, but look at these prices, and this is not ordered by price. Now here's a good one too. Excuse me. Not going to find it very often, but if you find sealed Sony anything, it's going to be a big price. Look, this is the same kind of cassette recorder. It's brand new in package, $257. If you put it on Amazon, it might even be more if you're not locked out of selling that certain category. But these prices are amazing. This is something you can buy for $1 or $2, guys. Panasonic is a very good brand to get too, as is Olympus. This is something that's like a transcriber with a foot control. Not a bad thing to get either. You see the Panasonics are good. They're not as good. They're selling more in the $20 range. And Swamp Picker in the chat says, even if you see the tapes, buy them. Absolutely. Absolutely. The normal size cassette tapes aren't worth that much anymore, but the micros still are. And great to have them on hand. You at least want to have one to test. And Ken Green says, in Western PA, garage sales not starting anytime soon. Sorry, dude. Sorry. I guess you could see these sometimes in thrift stores, though, right? And Chicago Crown Hustler says, Lord help anyone who includes batteries with a sale. Absolutely. I mean, that's why I always put batteries not included. Try not to have any picture of a battery in the listing at all. Why stand good for that, right? That's a commodity item. That's something they can buy at Walmart. So recorders, awesome. So the next thing, sealed media, and that's pretty broad, I know. But the great thing about sealed media is there again, people don't think it's worthwhile. Just in the past 2 weeks, I've had 2 lots of 6 VHS tapes sell on eBay for like $20 to $21, just for 6 tapes. And that was not including shipping. And you could pick these up for like a quarter or 50 cents a piece usually, if not less. If you ever see like somebody with like 10, 20 blank tapes, get them. Cassette tapes aren't worth quite as much. Still get them though, because they're going to be cheap. Micro cassettes, you want to be looking for floppy disk. Let's take a look. Sometimes you'll see these 50 floppy disk. Look at these prices. Here is a verbatim 50 pack, $40, shipping not included. These are some 5 1/4s, the bigger ones. 55 1/4s, $40, free shipping. The 3 1/2 sell really fast. Look, I've had this a couple of times. These colors, those are popular. They did free shipping. I don't think they had to. They probably undersold. But floppy disk guys, they're big because people still use them. Sony court recorder, if you can find one. Yes. Keep your eye out. I see the recorders for transcribers quite often at garage sales, more often than you would think. King Green says he sees some at auctions. Yes. So yeah, floppy disks are great sellers. You want to be looking for 8mm tapes, new. Look, okay, I mean, a lot of times you want to keep these in stock for when you sell camcorders, which you're going to get to in a few minutes. But look, new sealed 2-pack 8mm tapes, $10, free shipping. Look, here's somebody sold 12 tapes for $42 with free shipping. But look, great prices on these tapes, guys. I haven't looked at VHS-C tapes, which was kind of a popular thing back in the like 80s, 90s. Here we go. 16 new JVC VHS C tapes, $39. These are things you're going to be picking up for like 25 cents a piece. Get them if they're sealed. If they're sealed. I mean, you can't really go wrong with just about any kind of sealed media. So it's not something you really have to look up. You just have to buy it at the right price. That's all. Chicago Crown Hustler says, guilty. I passed up a pack of floppies last year at a garage sale. Memory serves, they were asking $2. Yep. No pun intended. Passed up a pack of floppies. If memory... Okay, I got it. All right. Sorry, I'm a little slow on the uptake. I am in the South, Kurt, so you'll have to excuse me. I'll usually get there eventually, though. We got positive vibes in the chat, too. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. They say they love learning new items to find. And guys, all this information is going to be in my new audiobook and my new ebook. Sorry, just kidding. No, I'm not selling anything, not marketing anything today. So seal media is where we're at now. The next one, guys. And this one is a little broader, and because there's a lot of junk out there. But remote controls. There's a lot of money in remote controls, and there's a lot of bad remote controls too. So we're going to look at a few that are definitely good money. Swamp Picker says, keep scrolling, you might find me. Okay, not sure. Okay, so anyway, remote control. Oh, you mean on this listing here. Okay, I got you. I got you, Swamp. So let's look at some remote controls. And here's one specific kind of remote control that a lot of people probably don't know about. I'm going to do adjustable bed remote control. These remote controls are super, super valuable. Some of them. I mean, actually, most of them are. I'm showing you some here that are not. 24, 40, 24. These look like Privia wireless. That's a Customatic. Some of those might be a little older. Here you go. Here's a Precision Comfort adjustable remote, $70. Here's one for $50. Let's look at a Craftmatic, I think, makes a bed. Okay, here we go. $129.99 for a Craftmatic remote. And you got to think, guys, if these guys have these beds, they probably got a pretty good bit of dough because those things are expensive. And if their remote is missing or broken, they need this bad. So this is, I mean, this is their sleep we're talking about. You want to be picking up these remotes. Look at this one. Craftmatic Craft One pre-programmed remote control for bed. $199. How much do you think that would cost in a thrift store? I think all thrift stores have those boxes. They're just full of remotes and maybe full of wall chargers and stuff like that. This is the kind of stuff you need to look for. You're not going to find necessarily remote controls for adjustable beds very often. I've only found two. I think one time I sold one for $50. One time I sold one for $90. Just keep it in the back of your head. If you ever do see one, buy one. Another kind of remote control you want to buy. You want to buy remote controls that look a little more modern for stereo systems. Because a lot of times, even when people have like these all-in-one remotes, the all-in-one remotes a lot of times can't perform all the functions of a stereo remote. So let's look at Yamaha remote control. Let's see what we find. And this looks like kind of an older one. You could tell from the buttons. $9.99, $19. Look at this one. Yamaha RAV 328 remote control, $29.99. In general, I'm going to say that TV remote controls, cable box remote controls. Now, I'm not saying you can't make money with any of these, okay? But unless you want to spend a lot of time doing the research or going through a bunch of junk, you could probably leave that stuff behind. Stereo remote controls sell a lot better. And a lot of times it might even be an eBay seller buying it to make a complete unit with their, with the stereo they're selling. So be on the lookout for stereo. Look, here's another one, RAV 200. Look at this remote control, guys. Yamaha CDR3 remote control, $76. That is crazy. And let's take a look at the chat real quick. Okay, Chicago Crown Hustler asked a very good question. Do those media items mentioned qualify for media mail? Kurt, they do not, because media mail is supposed to be for recorded items only. And these are blank. Having said that, I won't say that I've never done it. But if they opened it up and the postal employee knew what they were doing, knew what they were looking at, which is debatable whether they will or not. First of all, they have to open the package up, which doesn't happen a lot. I mean, they do open some media packages to check. Then they have to actually know the rules. I'd be willing to bet a good percentage of postal employees would say, oh, it's cassette tapes, or oh, it is media. Look, it's VHS tapes. It's good. And they close it back up and send it on. But there is an off chance that, it could get stopped. It is against the rules. Jack says the Lonnie room. Actually, this is my older daughter's room with these blue walls. And I think they do because they're blank media, but correct. Okay. Yep. And Coney Hatch says they do not qualify. You're right, Coney. You're right. But back on these remotes, they are incredible, can bring some good money, and they never cost anything. I mean, you'll never go to a garage sale and see somebody trying to sell a remote for a stereo for like $10. It just isn't going to happen. They're going to be asking 25 cents, 50 cents, $1. So really good seller there. Another one you want to look for, Logitech remote control. Harmony is the good one, and most of the ones you see are going to be some version of Harmony. Look, these are not ordered by price or anything. It's just a random search ordered by date. So the most recent sold. $30, $71, $75, $21, and this is about the cheapest you're going to see is this one. You get more money if you have the chargers. Here's a Logitech Harmony 880, $40. I'll probably see one of these Logitechs once a month, maybe, something like that. But look, all good money, and they're all Logitechs. Some of them are new, and you do see new ones sometimes. A lot of times you'll find that someone will give one of these to their parents for Christmas or something like that, and they'll just never take it out of the box, never set it up. Look at this one, Logitech Harmony Elite Universal Remote Control. It's incredible. So, okay, that's remotes, guys. And there are other remotes. Do a little research if you like. Any kind of specialty remote is going to be very desirable. If you ever see anything with bows on it, pretty much anything with bows on it, you want to pick that up. Any kind of expensive brand, you're going to want to pick it up. TV remotes, not so much. Okay, next on the list is Walkmans. Walkmans, I'm always selling Walkmans, and they're awesome because people don't think they're worth anything because they have tapes. Some of them have CDs if you're talking about a Discman. So they don't think it's worth anything. So they put it out there for like $1, right? You definitely need to, if you're going to pay more than $1 or $2, you need to test them because there again, the belts fail. Not all the time, but good percentage fail. I'm usually pretty bold about saying things are going to work, but can't guarantee it with this stuff. But let's take a look. And of course, the best brand is Sony, or one of the best brands. This is just a random search. Here's a cheap one for $10.50. Wow, look at this one, guys. Sony WM-F200 recording Walkman. Wow, that is something else. $210, and it's not even new. That is something else. I'm going to take a closer look. I don't know that I've ever seen this one. That's let me take a closer look at this one. That is cool. Wow, it doesn't look all that impressive to me. But I've never seen one. Any of you guys in the chat ever seen a recording Walkman? That's cool. Jeff Ball, I picked up 2 Sony remote controls for $1 each. Sold one for $25, one for $35. That's quite a profit margin, right? 60 out of 2, 30 to 1, 30x profit margin. And if they do, the remote controls can take a while to sell sometimes, depending on what you have. But if they do, you have so little, capital tied up in them, and they take up so little space to store. Who cares, right? You can wait it out. No, okay. Henry's saying no, he has not seen one. I'm not surprised, man. I haven't seen one either. I guess that's probably why they're so expensive. Um, Look, here is a high MD. That's something else you can look for with the Walkmans. Is a mini disc. I see these every now and then. Let's say you pick up a CD Walkman and it doesn't work, and you paid $1 for it. Just do like this guy did. Take a picture of it real quick. Throw it up, parts only. Look, $6. Here's a Sony for $21.99, $23.99 tested. Mini disc player with mini disc, $61. $22. I mean, look at these prices, guys. What is this one? Sony WM702 cassette Walkman. 100% working with AA adapter. Beautiful. Let's take a look at this one. And guys, these are not items that are... Now, some of the more expensive ones are kind of rare, but I see Walkmans... I see Walkmans all the time around here. I even see them in Goodwill a lot, for you guys up north that can't garage sale yet. So buy these things. Now, the players you don't really want to buy unless you have some prior knowledge. I'm not buying like GPX. I'm not buying like Emerson. I'm not buying like GE. Unless, if it's something that's new, sealed, yeah, I'm going to buy it. But a lot of those other brands, once you get away from Sony, and Panasonic's okay here, check out the brands for yourself if you like. But once you get away from the good Japanese stuff, it's not so hot. So you can probably leave a lot of that stuff away. But usually you're going to see Sony stuff anyway, because that's what the stuff was back then. So next, we're going to talk about chargers. These are basically just wall warts, or sometimes we're going to be talking about laptop chargers. I've done really well with those. You can find those. Most garage sales will have like a box just full of like wires, remote controls, transformers, charger, all kind of just, assorted junk. And the people have zero value placed on that stuff. Whenever I go to garage sales and I buy laptops, a lot of times laptops don't have chargers with them. I'll immediately go to eBay and pick up a charger from a guy like me that happens to have them, stockpiled away. You want to be looking for like Dell chargers because those are real common. Dell, Sony, any somewhat modern looking charger. I mean, if it looks really old or really bad, don't pick it up. Great thing about chargers, they very, very, very rarely go bad. Some of them have lights. Most of them don't, I would think. If you plug it in, you don't see anything smoking, or if you see the light come on, you're good. You don't really have to do any more testing than that. We got, who do we have here? We got Turtle Trader. We got Parrothead Picker. How y'all doing today? Thanks for joining us. How many do we have? We got 25 people in the chat. That's pretty awesome. No, 26. We just picked up one more. And it looks like the stream quality is good according to this. Oh, I've been going for 33.52. Wow, I meant to make this show tight. Sorry, guys. I can't help it. Rebel Scum is in the chat. Hello, Rebel Scum. Actually, guys, YouTube comments, I'm going to stretch this out a little more. YouTube comments are usually a cesspool. But I actually met Rebel Scum in a YouTube comment thread for... what's his name? Oh, Pat the NES Punk. It's like a video game channel. And we, I was kind of getting roasted because he was talking bad about resellers and how greedy they are and whatnot. And, kind of arguing back and forth with a few people. Not too heavy, but I met Rebel Scum there. And we got BK Bookit in the chat. Hello. I never heard of that one. It looks like a new viewer. Glad you joined us today, man. Glad you joined us. So, yeah, you want to be looking out, guys, for laptop chargers. Here's one I saw last year that you may see. I don't know how to spell it. Razor. Am I spelling this right? Razor Scooter, or is it R-A-Z? Yeah, Razor. Let's go Razor Scooter Charger and see what we come up with. Yep, Pat the NES Punk. If you guys want to learn a little bit about video games, I listen to his podcast. He does videos too, but I listen to Completely Unnecessary podcast every week or two. It comes out pretty much, and I learn a lot there. I stay on top of current events. It's a good podcast. He doesn't like resellers, but I'm cool with that. I mean, they have to act like, even though he probably sells a lot of his stuff, they have to act like they're, holier than thou. They're collectors, so the rules of reselling don't apply to them. And let's see, Turtle Trader, Chicago Crown Hustler, Pat Who, I've got an NES for sale. I think he's got a few of those. Guys, Pat the NES Punk, if you watch Pawn Stars, have you ever seen the episode where they have the National World Championship cart? I think he's got like two different games, and one of them's like worth $20,000. It's got the little dip switches. It's for the National World Championship. And they didn't buy it, but it was like the most expensive NES game you can have. Well, that was Pat the NES Punk. That he was on that episode of Pawn Stars. So look, here's some Razor chargers for razors, just scooters. And you're not going to make big money on chargers. These do sell fast. I've sold them quite a few times. It's not going to be big money, but it's going to be easy money. You're going to pick it up, you're going to throw it down, click, done. Find a listing that's already up there, sell similar, add your photos, maybe type in a couple of words, list it as done. When it sells, bubble mailer, out, gone, pecan. You're going to make like $10, $15, something like that. Some chargers are worth more than others. If you ever see like a Bose, let's say Bose power supply, let's see what we find. Bose, blah, 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 SoundLink Air and Sound Dock power supply, $46.98. I'm not looking at solds, so this doesn't mean anything. Okay, here we go. Switching power supply for Sound Dock, $23.50. Okay, this one, $27 for a power supply, $39, $25, $30. I mean, you can see, guys, power supplies are big money. Got to get the right ones. Don't want to just buy every power supply you see. But you want to look at the names. And, Dell power supplies are everywhere, and they sell, boom, like that. And they'll have the model number on the power supply. You just punch that in, find somebody else's listing. They're already sold, and they're done. They're, again, real cheap to source, pretty quick to sell, and very small to ship and store. So those are some of the requirements we're looking for here. Parrothead Picker says, I've had great luck selling chargers on Amazon. I've never sold one on Amazon. Never even thought to be honest. And let's see, DD215, I am not going to comment on that. I'm not going to delete it either. It's fine. Just, let's keep that out of here, man. I don't have any beef with anybody on YouTube. I love everybody. But I'm not going to take it down. The only way I can see to take it down right here. Oh no, I can remove it. Okay, cool. So, I didn't want to block you totally, but, I will if that kind of stuff continues. So anyway, moving on. The next thing we're going to talk about is camcorders. Rebel Scum says, do you test them anyway, voltage tester? I could. I have a multimeter, but I don't. They're just not high enough profit. There's two things here. There's not high enough profit margin in them to spend the time on them to test, typically. Now, if it's a Bose, maybe you want to test that. And two, there's such a low failure rate on these things. No moving parts, right? Super low failure rate on these power supplies. Typically, if somebody has a power supply that goes bad, are they going to put it in their closet and save it for the next garage sale? Probably not. They're probably going to chunk it. I would throw it away. I wouldn't keep it around. So even the ones that do go bad, they're probably in the landfill already. So just a low risk type of item. You could test it though with a multimeter. Put one of your things on the inner conductor, one on the ground conductor. So okay, camcorder, staying on track. Let's look at Sony camcorder, or you know what? Sony's are usually called Handycam. And you notice I'm going back to the Sony well again because I see so many, and y'all see these on my haul videos and my sales videos. I bet almost every week I'm either picking one up or selling one. And with Sony and a lot of other brands, I wouldn't say a lot of other brands, a couple other brands, it doesn't look at these prices, guys. Look, this is all old technology. TRV 17, that's mini DV. That's probably 1990s technology. A lot of these people have these old tapes. They want to transfer them, so they don't have their camera. It got broke, whatever. They want to transfer their tapes, so they just want to watch them. They're going to buy one of these so they can watch their. We're talking about memories here, right? I mean, we're talking about somebody sitting there with all these tapes full of memories. And when it involves sentimentality or memories, you're going to get more money. So I think that's what drives a lot of these prices. This is old, antiquated stuff. DCR TRV 320 digital 8 Handycam, $130. This is one of the things that you're going to have to pay a little more than this other stuff I've been talking about. You may have to pay up a bit on this. You're not going to buy one of these for $1, but you're probably going to be able to buy them for 20 or less typically. But look at these prices, guys. It's not arranged. It's just arranged by recent. And I search Sony Handycam. Look at the prices. 119, 109, and these are all old. One thing I don't ever see is VHS cam. Well, I do see VHS camcorders, but they're not usually Sony. Let's look at some VHS camcorders. Now, this is something I don't have experience with. Let's see. Lay Cyrus says, check for pet bites on cords. That's good. I used to have a cat that did that all the time. Parrot Head Picker says, when places have bag sales, it's the best time to stock up on power supplies and chargers. Absolutely. You can fit, in a Walmart bag, how many of those could you fit? A bunch. And then Jack says they'll transfer the tapes, then return. I've never had a return on camcorder. I sell a lot of camcorders. I've never had a return, Jack. I'm sure it could happen. But I wouldn't not buy them or not sell them because of the possibility. Now look, here are some VHS camcorders. And I would say to tread a little more carefully when it comes to camcorders. Look, Quasar, that's an kind of off brand. VHS-C Palm Sight camcorder, $40. When it came to like a VHS or VHS-C camera, I would be a little more hesitant because look, the price margin isn't near as good with those. But what you want to be looking for, you want to be looking at Sony's, any kind of Sony DVD camcorder. I see a lot of those. Oh no, we go Handycam. That's what they call them. Okay, there's a TRV 320. That must be for parts only, I'm sure. These probably are also. You'll want to they'll typically have tapes in the little camera bag when you find them. So if you can, you're going to want to test them out real quick. Really fast to test out. Just plug them in. The batteries probably aren't going to be great on a lot of these. It doesn't matter. Just disclose it in your listing. But these little handy cams are just such good money. Look, here's a Sony Handycam IR night shot. If it has night shot, put that in there. Apparently some people like to shoot movies with the lights out. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing there. Rebel Scum says, speaking of stocking up on power supplies and chargers, Radio Shack is going out of business. It seems like that's been going on for years now. Get stuff cheap and flip. Yep. Sony camcorders with the night vision are gold. These are the, yeah. I'm not sure. What do you think they're doing with those parrot head picker? Huh. Don't answer that. So camcorders, guys, pick them up. Okay, ink. Ink is something that I pick up pretty frequently. I don't pick it up as much as I used to. You can sell expired ink on eBay, but I'm always a little afraid it's going to be dried up or something like that. And I see some like really old ink from like 10 years ago. There are a few things you really want to focus on with ink. You want to pick up. Hang on, I got a cat trying to get in here. What do you want? All right, sorry guys. So, you want to, like, if you see toner, box toner, you want to pick that up. Toner doesn't really expire. I bought some really old toner before. Never had any problems with it. Toner is big money. And the caveat here is you don't want to buy, like, third-party toner or third-party ink. You want to buy from the actual printer manufacturer. Let's look at some HP toner here. Okay, here's some HP 85A 2-pack black original LaserJet, 90 bucks. This looks like maybe some off-brand stuff here. But guys, toner is big. Oh yeah, it is off-brand stuff. Look, toner is super big money, and I see a lot of people are buying the knockoff toner that like comes from China. But look, I've had this one before. HP Genuine 85A, $49.95. Toner is super duper good money, guys. A lot of times you might have to pay up just a tad. You may have to pay like $5 a box, something like that. You might want to do what I typically do in those situations. I grab the toner, have it under my arm, and then I'm looking it up on my phone real quick. I don't want anybody to grab it out from underneath me. So you also want to be looking at inkjet cartridges, of course. Be careful with the dates. You can still sell it out of date, but you're not going to command near as much money. And there are a lot, I have found quite a few inkjet cartridges for printers that aren't really being used much, so the value is pretty low. Got Kit Boy in the chat, Monroe, Louisiana here, new subscriber. Thanks for subscribing. Welcome to the stream here today. So yeah, guys, ink. I think a lot of you probably already know that, but you should always be buying ink, especially the toner. So video game controllers is the next thing. And I'm not going to go into video games just because that's such a broad topic and it requires a lot of specific knowledge. But I am going to tell you, you should be picking up something I get all the time. Xbox 360 wireless controllers. You need to know what they look like. You're not going to probably see a whole lot of Xbox One and PS4 controllers out in the wild yet. These must be broken or something. This is a typical price you're going to get for an Xbox 360 controller, $14.49. Whoops. Yeah, $14.49. And I didn't put guitars on this because they're a little more difficult to ship. I might cover Guitar Hero and Rock Band controllers in another video. I think it would be worthwhile. Look, here's one. Anytime you see like these fancy colors on the Xbox 360 controllers, those are going to command pretty good bit more money. They're special editions and stuff. Like this one was $29. The price has been slowly dropping on these. Here's one for $29.99. Somebody really undersold this one for some reason. Here's some modded controllers. I don't know exactly what they did. And even the wire controllers, one thing you want to make sure you do in your listing, you want to put like words like official, genuine, and Microsoft. Like in this case, because there's a lot of knockoff controllers that go for probably half the price. Parrot head picker. Love selling toner. Got scammed on my last one. Buyer sent me back his old one, saying after he installed, the new one didn't work. Sucked eating that $75 sale. Not much you can do. I mean, what you going to do? You're not going to stop selling. I haven't had that happen, man. That does suck, though. I mean, you know what really bothers me about that is it could be a buyer with, say, 5 feedback, and you can be a seller with like, 5,000 feedback, and your arguments are going to be weighted the exact same, even though you've got years history of providing great service and having like utmost integrity and just selling a bunch of stuff. Like you would actually risk your business to send this guy or to lie about him sending back a bad toner cartridge. That's what really gets to me. Is there's no weight. We have the feedback system, but there's no weight placed on that feedback system on eBay's side. Okay, I don't want to get started on that because that's negative energy and it's stuff that is kind of out of our control. And what you selling? Sherry's in the chat. I did send Sherry. she paid a few bucks for me to send her that Golden Girls t-shirt. I sent it out yesterday, Sherry, and I hope you like it. Rebel Scum. Some Guitar Heroes have the neck that comes off. Yes, they do. It just like comes off like that. Pretty good. Chelsea says, got to go. Okay, thanks for joining us, man. Try and catch the rest of it later if you can. I'm almost finished, Chelsea. Just got a couple more little categories. Do you sell game controllers on eBay? I sell strictly on eBay right now. BK Book It. Only selling on eBay. So I can't really speak to, Amazon sales. Okay, so let's look at, use not working. These media remote controls don't really sell very well. Another one you want to look for, the like PS3 Dual Shock. Those always sell well, and these are really light. They have the batteries built in. If you can test it, it would probably be ideal. With these controllers, you got to have like the charge. There's no batteries that you put in the back like there are on most of the Xbox 360 controllers. They actually have the battery internal, so you have to use what's called a charge and play controller. This is getting pretty specific, but most of these controllers aren't going to come with the cable anyway. Boy, some of these prices are pretty low. I'm not sure. This guy got $10.89 with free shipping. This guy got $15.50 not free shipping. So I'm not sure what the differences are there. But you can always pick these up for like $1.50, something like that. And they sell really fast. Video game controllers, great money. Great money. So the last thing, guys, I got one more thing that you should always be looking for at garage sales. And that is, you want to look for Nintendo handheld consoles. And when I'm talking about those, I am talking about, you're going to see these a lot, or pretty good bit. You're going to see a lot of these Nintendo GBA SP. These little guys here, little square guys. Even if they're not working, go ahead and pick them up. You can still sell them. A not working GBA SP you can sell for about 15 bucks. If they're working, you'll get anywhere from $30 to $50 depending on which model you have. You always want to check out on these, and I've talked about this before on the GBAs. AGS 101 is the more valuable. You can see these prices are going to be higher. Look, this one comes with Super Mario Advance, which isn't a super. Let me get one without a game because we're not sure what the game. And Rebel Scum says yes. Model 101 is the best. It is. It's got the reason it's the best. It's got the brighter backlit screen. Look, $52 here, and you'll find the model number. I'll show you real quick, guys. Assuming they took pictures of it. Ugh, why didn't they get a? Okay, that's not a bad picture of it. But you see at the top left of that label, Game Boy Advance SP, model number AGS. That says That's an AGS-001. Did he mod this thing or something? Look at this guy. He put AGS-101 in the title. But let's look at the back. I clearly see AGS-001 on the back. That's crazy. I don't know if this guy put the wrong picture or what. Golly, just randomly found a dude. It can't be a scam job because anybody that would look for that would know. Okay. That's crazy. So anyway, yeah, the 101s are better. The 001s are good too. You know, you'll usually pick these up for like $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. If somebody really knows what they're doing, you might have to pay up a little bit. I typically pay about $5 on average for these. Great sellers. You also, of course, want to look out for original Game Boys. Rebel Scum says he may have replaced the case. I looked in the description though, Rebel Scum, and he didn't say anything about that. So it looked like a mistake there. Maybe he had more than one. I don't know. Boy, look at this, guys. He's got this sold. Original Game Boy, brand new, sold for $369. That is incredible. Looks like these are in good shape too. You can buy these with confidence. You're usually going to get them for a couple of bucks, okay? And even if they don't work, you could see you're going to get, pretty decent money. Even if they don't work, if you go parts only, and let's say you paid a couple of bucks for one, you're typically going to be able to get, $15, $20, somewhere in that range. Maybe 10. It probably depends on what's wrong with it. If it has a clean screen, you're going to get a little more. Look, Game Boy not working for parts only, $20. They probably paid $3, $4 shipping. So, and Sherry says, hit the like button even though I missed over half the show. They don't have a half finger. So yeah, guys, get the, you have Game Boy, you've got Game Boy Color, you've got Game Boy Advance, you've got Game Boy Advance SP, all terrific sellers, all things you're going to see quite often, and all that are going to bring money, whether they work or not. So you don't have to really sweat that testing them in the field. Let me look at a few more here. Positive Vibe says PS3 Les Paul guitar, Hero dongle, and yeah, dongles are good too. You know what? Positive Vibes, I'm going to do another show maybe in a week or two, and we're going to talk all about Guitar Hero and Rock Band games, controllers, stuff like that. We need to do that. And Swamp Picker says he has one not working. So yeah, man, throw it up. You'll get a quick $20. It'll be gone out of your hair. And remember, we're going to have a Cajun Pickers show tomorrow. Me, Swamp, Kinetic Energy are going to get together tomorrow at 8 o'clock Central Time. I'm going to go ahead and schedule it as soon as I get off the stream. Join us. Like, subscribe. You're probably already subscribed, but if you're not, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for joining me, chat. Good to see y'all. Bye-bye.